Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do a comic page because I have started cleaning up the pages for the Snowcat prints and I'm pretty excited. And I did decide 100% to do digital just because it's over 100 pages and I don't have the confidence to do 100 pages in watercolor, which makes me sad because I was excited about doing a comic just traditionally, but honestly, I don't think I could do it in that big of a project. But to make up for that, I am going to make a kettle cat scene with poems and drawings of kettle cats, and I have it kind of fleshed out. I'm kind of excited for doing it, and I'm going to do it before I finish Snowcat prints most likely, and it's all going to be watercolor and it's all going to be traditional and it's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to do an art book as well, which will have a lot of the traditional art that I've done before. So I'm kind of like, I want to do a comic 100% watercolor at one point in my life. But for now I need to start with some smaller projects and then I'll move on to the bigger ones watercolor when I feel more confident. Anyhow, this is a digital speed paint. I'm sorry to everyone who loves my traditional stuff. I hope that you don't mind my digital because I like it, even though it's different from my watercolor. So I hope you guys like it. I will see you Monday for another vlog and enjoy. I will be doing a voiceover, don't worry. I just wanted to introduce this video with my face because I haven't done that in a while. And yeah, I'm excited to show you guys. So enjoy the first actual look for you guys that is not following me on Twitch of the Snowcat Prince, the comic.
So, as you can already tell, this video is going to be a lot shorter and a lot more compressed than my normal draw with me and be creative with me videos, and I hope you guys will enjoy seeing how I go from a rough comic page to a final comic page. And I know that a lot of you guys are interested in digital art and specifically comic art because I have done a lot of mock comic covers and some comic pages previously in my video file somewhere, so you can go check them out if you want to. And yeah, I just wanted to share how I think and how I work, because I might not work the same way as other people do when they do comics, but maybe I do the same thing. We will see. The first thing I do is, of course, to sketch out the page. That is not filmed because I did all of the 117 pages that I need to do for this comic. I already sketched out, so that is already done, and I never filmed that because that was just a whole mess of work. Actually, I might have filmed that for a vlog, but who knows, it might be hidden somewhere in my footage. Anyway, I have the rough sketch and it's very, very rough, and you can see that when I do go over with my line art tool, my line art brush, I kind of ignore my sketch for the most part. My sketch is there mostly to remember what I was thinking originally for the scene and what I was imagining, and the shapes and the details of the characters and the background is not really fleshed out in the sketch phase because I don't really need to do that. I kind of know how to draw them at this point. I've drawn how many pages? Four or 5 pages with these characters already, so I kind of know where to put their eyes and where to put their nose. But I would recommend, if you are not used to this, please, when you do the rough sketch, do the rough sketches for the whole comic or the whole chapter, so that you have it consistent and you know what you're doing. But then before you do the line art, I would recommend doing a little bit more of a refined sketch just to have a little bit more of a safe space to do your line art, so you know what you're doing. Then I usually block in the colors. Krita has this. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using Krita, and I'm also using a XP Pen 22 drawing monitor tablet, I don't even know, to do this comic. So there will be an actual filming of me drawing on the screen later. I didn't get to do that much because I was actually streaming this whole process, so if you are ever interested in seeing more of my comic process or asking me questions, please go over to Twitch, because I have been streaming a lot this week and I think I will continue to do that because streaming when doing comic pages is really fun, even though it takes me longer. But yeah, what I was going to say is that I used the bucket tool with a little bit of extra fill, so it fills a little bit more than what you try to fill. It's hard to explain, but it's really handy, and I never figured out how to do this in Photoshop, and it's just very convenient. I use that, and then I block in the colors for the background. I like to do this. I kind of go between just blocking in the colors for the characters and blocking in the colors for the background. I kind of switch that around whichever page I'm doing, but for this page particularly, I had this idea of the purple heather field, which is the kind of passing between two horizons. So the story is based in a world where you have three horizons. You have the snow-capped horizon, which is pretty much mountains, snow, no trees, almost no bushes, and then you have the middle horizon, which is quite like lively and pink rainforest, kind of luscious forests, and then you have the third horizon, which is more of a desert, kind of wild savanna kind of horizon. And the borders between these horizons are pretty extreme because of the extremities between the different horizons, and then that kind of ends up to be kind of extreme and vibrant. So when I was writing the story pretty early on, I had this idea of this heather field before you kind of join into the next horizon, and I was excited for it, so I had to block in the colors first. And I found these pictures online. So if you haven't watched me do digital art before, I love finding pictures on Google and taking the colors from it. So I don't copy it, even though this one I kind of used the horizon line, as you can see. But I don't copy it, I just put it in my file. I scale it up and I blur it so that I can just pick the colors, and it's very handy when you don't know what colors to use. And I recommend this technique as long as you don't trace whatever's on the picture. I think you're completely fine to just use the colors, because it will help you. It will make sure that the colors work together and they give the mood that you were looking for, and it's just very handy, especially when you have to draw 100 and what pages for a comic. Then I block in the rest of the colors for the characters. They are already decided, and no matter what the environment is, I will always use the same colors to block in the characters. And this is very important because then you kind of have the consistency throughout all your pages. But something I will do at the end of this process is to add another color overlay on top of their colors to blend them more into their environment. So of course, if you are in a heather field versus being in a snowy mountain, your colors will look different if you take pictures of it. So the way I do it is I do block in the colors, but later I add in a purple overlay over the characters to make them match their environment more, because that color and that light is bouncing around, and of course it won't be as cold and vibrant as in the snowy mountain. And the same on the other way around. I can't speak to that apparently. The red hair of Kit wouldn't work with the snowy mountain of the snow. I can't talk. Why can't I talk? And if that makes sense, I hope it makes sense. It just means that you have to very slightly adjust the colors to work in the different environments that you place your characters in. There we go. And then I just started cleaning up all the backgrounds. I love this process because when I have blocked in every color of everything with a soft brush, I can kind of just zoom in and slowly start cleaning up everything and just refining it, making sure everything is inside their little respective lines and areas. And it's just very comfortable and slow because everything's already decided. The colors are there, the lines are there, I just have to clean it up. And that's just how I work. Some people prefer to kind of block in the foreground, middle ground and background, and then kind of color in from there, but I just find this a lot quicker for me and just a lot smoother. Now, I will say that I might actually change the colors a little bit later in the comic, because I don't know if this is what I'm going for. I might go a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, I have no idea. For now, I'm just trying to kind of finish this is the second chapter, but I started with the second chapter and I will go back to the first chapter after the second. I'm just jumping around at this point because I have all the pages sketched out anyway, so it doesn't really really matter where I'm working, which page I am working on, and I'm just kind of doing what I feel like doing. And especially for these like pages for the chapter 2 where Kit is introduced to Siv, it's very just nice to do that on stream because people don't know the story, and it's just nice. The 5th chapter is of course just Siv and his brothers, which will be very fun, but I'm still kind of tweaking the finicky things about it. It's just this chapter with Kit introduction was already finished for a while, so that's what I'm doing it. Anyway, I hope you guys liked it. I really had so much fun working on this page, and I'm excited to do the other ones, and I'm also happy it doesn't take too long to do per page. And yeah, come join me on Twitch if you want to see more on my process, and also of course Patreon has a lot of extra sneak peeks that you can't see anywhere else. And yeah, have a lovely weekend, guys, and I'm sorry for a very short and digital video this week, and yeah, have a lovely weekend. It's spring here and I love it, and yeah, I love you. Okay, bye.